Welcome back to Breakthrough, where I coach you every single week until we hit 100,000 followers on Instagram. We've already done one. This is number 2. I'm so excited. We're going to talk about Brooke. Let's have a look.
Hi, my name is Brooke Coleman.
Hey, Brooke.
I am currently living in Austin, Texas.
Austin, baby.
And I was born in the United States in Texas,
Right.
but I actually grew up in South America.
Oh, wow.
I'm what used to be referenced as a third culture kid. Left when I was extremely young, completely immersed myself in South America, in Colombia, more than anything. And yeah, there's a lot there. And it was lovely. But I speak Spanish and English, and just the diversity of all that, I think has brought me to where I am. And it's probably part of my curiosity or the wanting to help others as well, and try to figure some things out. What I think my my one thing, I know it's so hard to get to that like focused in like one thing. I think it's limiting beliefs. I really do. I think that
See the emotion on her face, right?
that perfectionistic nature, so many of us do, and I stopped short. I just finished the 4 weeks and the fast track in the U.S. and the one, the last day we did. Calvin, you shared that mentor that the graph, right, with the duck, but you were showing just that person that high achiever. And that's always
Books
been
in the
me.
background.
But I don't come from money, and I don't have any right now. I tried to start a company, like a leadership and development in training, bilingual, both cultures. I wanted to do something that probably didn't niche down completely enough, but I spent a lot of money just trying to figure it out, and I couldn't. And I just blew through my savings, and I had to get a job to just kind of go back into being able to survive. So now digging myself out of some debt and trying to get back on stable ground. And yet I just yearn to be able to do what I feel like I'm called to do. And I know I'm the one that's keeping myself back. This limiting belief of worthiness, of capability, even though so many around me believe me. I had one friend say, "You're going to be my first millionaire friend." And I thought, gosh, how can they see that in me? I've had other people really say, "Wow, you have such a presence on camera, and there's something about you and your energy." And I know those things are true. I hear them, but I don't believe them. And it gets me all choked up because I know how worthy every single person is out there. Some of them have made maybe some shitty choices, over time, but at their core, they're good. And so if I can see that in others, I want to see it in me. Gosh, and you did such a phenomenal job in the coaching these last 4 weeks. It was good. Sometimes you just went off on stuff. Other times you were focused in and locked in, and all of it was good. So I don't know. I'm not late. I am older. And if not now, then when? And if not, what is the other saying? I don't know. I can't get American sayings or English sayings right half the time. But yeah, I'm the biggest holding back. I know that. But how do I unstick myself? How do I build that belief? Because I know I'm incredible, the theory, but I don't believe it. Thanks.
Wow. Brooke, beautiful. First, I honor Brooke in what she shares. Beautiful woman. You can tell, like, huge heart. And, you can pick up a lot by looking at people's body language and their attitude and also their environment. And clearly she's a self-made woman trying to do amazing things. And you can tell she's the sort of person that's picked herself up by a bootstrap. And you don't move to another country and do all the things that she's done if you don't have something special about you. So a few things that come to me straight away. Brooke has a tremendous amount of self-awareness, which is amazing, but it can be a bit of a curse, right? Like, you've heard this story before, that ignorance is bliss. That is true to an extent, because the more you know about your insecurities and your flaws, the more aware of you are are in that in real time. And if you're not, in some cases, bold, for a better choice of words, then often we can become too honest with ourselves and realize that actually we think that we're broken and everybody else is perfect. In reality, we realize that actually everybody is broken, but some people are either better at hiding it than other people, or they just don't give a fuck as much. And so I feel like, Brooke is here in this sort of pit at the moment where she's gone through this incredible journey. She's tried to do an amazing thing. It hasn't really worked the way that she wanted it to, which happens all the time, but she's being too honest and vulnerable with herself to the extent that it's not actually serving and supporting her now to go again. She's sort of trapped in that place. So there's a few things here. One thing I want everyone to be aware of, and certainly Brooke, for you, my dear, I want you to be aware of this, which is that we are not what we do or what we've done. We are who we are. And so what's really important to understand is that you can be a full and complete person and worthy of everything and still objectively a failure, right? You can be a work of art and all like a masterpiece and also a work in progress simultaneously. And we talk about this to clients all the time. So you have a client that comes to us with a limiting belief, I'm not good enough and I'm unworthy. And you go, no problems, we can break through that. We'll do like a belief change or transformation, as you probably did with us in the NLP and coaching program. And if you did the coaching course, not the NLP one, you should do the other one. Anyway, we can do that. You create this breakthrough, 10, 15 minutes to create the breakthrough. But that doesn't mean that the person's now going to be wildly successful. It just means that they don't now no longer believe that they're not good enough. So it's like, just because I don't believe I'm not good enough doesn't then therefore by default mean I'm going to achieve all the success. No, it just means that you're going to get out of your own way and enable yourself to have the opportunity to create wild success. Creating wild success requires hard work and luck and dedication and serendipity and all of those other things, right? So it's like, just because let's use a simple example, just because you now believe that you're capable of being a millionaire doesn't make you a millionaire. There's a financial strategy that you have to execute on, right? So what I would do is just from listening to this video, Brooke, I would allow yourself to hold two things to be self-evident. One is that you are complete, you are perfect, you're beautiful, you have so much wonderful value and love to give to the world, and at the same time also hold that can be true, and at the same time you haven't yet figured out how to win this game of, say, running your own business and then manifesting that financially, and that you can not have that figured out and still yet be perfect at the same time. Because so often in our life, whether it be through upbringing or culture or society, we go, in order for me to feel worthy, I've got to have something of worthiness to have accomplished and achieved, and that's not the case. You can be worthy and beautiful and complete, and you can still be trying to figure some stuff out. Because if you look at the most successful people, they are often the ones that have some of the biggest failures. And if you link your self-worth and self-esteem to the external, you're never going to feel good enough, right? And the world will do a good enough job of that for you. So what I want you to do is this, just tactically, is to help build self-esteem and self-confidence. What you're trying to do now is something you've not done before, and you've had a setback. We all have them, and you're going to have more of them in the future. But I want you to think about things like, for example, moving to South America and becoming bilingual and setting yourself up for success. That should be your anchor point. If I can do that, imagine what else that I can do, right? And so I want you to go through and I want you to write a list of 100 things that you're proud of, 100 things that you did that you didn't know how to do. Start with some small stuff like learning how to drive a car or ride a bike or read or write, right? Like we figured that stuff out. But then you also figured out, and let's be clear, you figured out how to talk and communicate, and no one took you through a speech course. You just picked it up from just watching what fucking people were doing. So there's a ton of stuff that you've done in your life that is actually more significant than what you're trying to do now. And certainly you were trying to do more with less. So if we can ground ourselves in the realization that you are an amazing person, you have done amazing things and will do amazing things again, you're filling up that tank to allow yourself to have the self-esteem and self-confidence to swing for the fences again. Now, sometimes we make mistakes that can either define you or it can define a chapter of you. And so I would encourage you to have it define a chapter of you. That was a time where I went for something, it didn't work out great. I'm going to pick myself back up from my bootstraps. I'm going to go again. I'm going to try and do it in a different way. And, it's only a failure, and it's only a critical failure if you allow it to be the end of the story and not part of the beginning of what becomes a tremendous turnaround story as well. And I've certainly been there as well. So it starts with filling your own cup though. And I think that's about holding this paradigm between I'm a masterpiece piece and also a work in progress simultaneously, and that if I've done crazy, amazing shit in the past, I can do crazy, amazing shit again in the future. But sending you a heap of love, and remember, everyone's exactly the same boat that you're in right now, and start to stack up evidence and examples of amazing things that you've done. It's going to help you see the magic that others see in you. You'll start to see it in yourself.